this one is Introduction to Food Service. So this is the class our students take as they enter our culinary program. One of the very first classes that they take, it's an overview class, which allows the students to kind of get, as the name implies, an introduction to food service. So this isn't one of the fun classes where they get to get their hands dirty and start cooking. This is one more of an exploratory class. So the objective that I'm working with here is that students will investigate, compare, evaluate, and decide on preferred careers in the culinary industry. One of the things that we find with our students is that they come into our program because they like to cook or they want to cook, and they have watched the Food Network, and they see all the star chefs on TV, and they want to be just like them. And they forget that there really is a wide variety of jobs that are related to the culinary field that don't involve cooking, oddly enough. And so what we look to do with this particular project is to have students investigate a variety of different careers, maybe open their eyes up, open their minds up to different opportunities. So what I'm doing in this class as a problem is I'm telling the students to project where they want to be 5 years from now. Think about the type of dream job that they're going to have, and think about what they'd like to be doing, and really cause them to take a moment to pause. And when they do that, I think many of them are going to find that they all have got a mental block just around being a cook. So what we're going to do at that point in time is to work in collaborative groups and coming up with a list. We're going to start by brainstorming a list of careers that are in the culinary field that the students would like to learn more about. So as small groups, they'll be collaborating and coming up with this list of careers. After they come up with this list of careers in small groups, they'll come together as a whole, and they'll put together one classroom Google Doc that will include all the careers. And I'm hoping we have, wouldn't it be cool to come up with 100 different careers that are related to culinary for students to really investigate. Then as small groups, what they'll do at that point in time is to go back into their small collaborative group and come up with a series of questions that they want to ask to find out more about those careers. And this is where we started with that whole back pocket list idea, because it was like, well, gosh, if they've never done this career, how are they even going to know what questions they need to ask? And so, I might have some prompting that I'll need to do, but I'm hoping that as they collaborate, this ill-defined idea will come together, that they're going to want to know maybe what type of minimum experience they're going to need, or what type of pay they should expect, or what type of qualifications they'll need to get into these careers. And once the list of career questions have been developed, now the real work is going to come into play, because I'm going to divide up the list of different careers amongst the groups, and then let those groups choose 3 of those careers that they really want to investigate further. So our groups are going to be groups of 3. They'll investigate 3 careers. At that point in time, they will be investigating the careers based upon the list of questions that they've come up with as a class. And in doing so, they'll come up with a final polished product. And that product is going to be and again, very vague, a multimedia presentation. So I'm not sure what they're going to come up with. And I think that's kind of the beauty of it from an instructional standpoint, is perhaps they'll come up with a video. Perhaps they'll come up with some sort of an online compendium. Perhaps they'll come up with a website. And I'll look to see what type of creativity my students have, what type of comfort level they have with technology in developing the different projects. But I'm hoping at the very end of this project that I have a resource where our students can go to. If they decide they want to be a food stylist, they can go and find out information about being a food stylist from this multimedia presentation. Obviously, as the students come up with this list of questions to get to the point where they have this multimedia presentation to put together, they're going to need to investigate these different careers with people who are currently in industry. And that's where I come into play with it, is I connect them with people in industry that they can go interview and ask the questions. The students will be required to do a weekly reflective blog. So we'll be, kind of making sure, and it will be assessed, as Greg so rightly put, if there's not something that's due that's got points every week, they'll wait to the last minute. So we'll be doing a weekly blog to get some reflection. There will be scaffolding along the way as well to see how the students are doing with the project. So as you can see, there's several key points that will be put together. One is the list of careers, 2 is a list of questions that they're going to ask of the careers, and the 3rd is the work project. So there's a different rubric that is put together for each of those, as well as collaborating with their teammates. So that's the basics of the project. Does anybody have any questions? Leaping. Yes, this is an online course, and I haven't, some of you have spoken towards a project that you've done already. This is a project I haven't done yet, so I'm looking forward to it, but this is going to be online. Yes. So I'm going to have to have the groups collaborating in Blackboard Collaborate. And the way I actually set it up in my facilitator's guide is as a hybrid class. So we'll meet once a month as a group, and that'll be good because we'll be able to develop some of our skills. Again, I think my biggest fear is this is a first semester class, and I'm doing collaborative work online in a first semester class, which makes me a little bit nervous. So I decided to hybridize the class, so we'll meet together once a month, and then the other 3 weeks we'll be working online, and we'll be doing work online in addition to regular coursework. So this will be a 10-week project that'll be running parallel to the course.